So today,
Just cut off your head.
so today we start.
Son used to have a photography studio.
I did.
True story. Keep your day job. True story.
Samach Dalad, 64. 64b. We start from a Mechizkia. See that? I don't know what page on the art scroll.
64B.
B what?
B2.
B2.
Bingo.
Okay. Chizkia says, I assume that Chizkia is this early sage that's the son of Rabbi. From where do we know that an egg from an unkosher bird is aser? Shenemar, as it says in the pasuk Vesbasayana, the young ostrich or the daughter of the ostrich. That's how we usually it's translated. The Gemara asks, "Chibasla yeshla liyana? Does ostrich have a daughter?" Now, what the Gemara is asking is, possibly, does the Gemara have a daughter would have a different? Does the ostrich have a daughter that's different than the ostrich itself? That it should have a special halacha that's different? That's a simple interpretation. What else could it be asking? Of course. The Ramban learns this, that what it means is that it doesn't have a daughter. It has an egg, and it shouldn't be called a daughter.
Anyway. Tummy.
Huh?
Tummy.
Okay. Ela'ezu, so what is it referring to? Ela'ezu zu beitzatmei. It's referring to an egg. An egg of a non-kosher bird is tummy. Gemara asks, "V'dilma hainu shemayu." How do you know that it's coming to include something? Maybe it has a name called Basiana, like the name Ben-Sion or something. Or Basia, right? Yeah. How do you know that means that it's the daughter? Where it says, Leisal Kadaitach. No, don't think like that. Iksiv, Basami, the daughter of my nation, Lachsar, has become cruel, Kiyenim Bamidbar, like a ostrich in the desert. See, it's not called Basayana. See, its name is Yana. The Gemara says, V'loi, it's not called Basayana. V'aksiv esem misped katanim ve'evel k'bnais Yana. I will make a misped,
Wailing?
Wailing, good. Like a
husband.
A hesped. Katanim, like jackals, and a mourning like the daughters of Yana, of ostrich. You see, it's called Basyana. Gemara says, Kiyana zu shemisabel salbana. No. It means like a Yana, that the name is Yana, and it's mourning over its children. Gemara says, Vaksiv shichnei sham b'neis Yana, that it will dwell there, the Basyana, the daughters of the ostrich, and it sounds like it's the name. I shouldn't say that. I should say, they dwell there, the ostrich, the Basyana. Gemara says, Kiyana zu shechenesim bana. It means the Yana that dwells with the children, but that's not the name. Vaksiv, techabdeni chayes asada, tanim, ubnais Yana. They will honor me, the beasts of the field, the jackals, and the bnais Yana. That means that's the name. Why? Because visal kadaitach beitza, if you say that it means the egg, beitza basmei mashirhi, can an egg sing song?
Why not? So it must be talking about Tagayana then.
So it must be that's his name, Basyana. In the whole discussion, when a woman gives birth, so she becomes tummy. So there's a discussion in the Shulchan Aruch, in the Paiskin, that if they hear crying, but they don't know that she didn't give birth, is she tummy? So can the baby cry from inside? Or that it came out and went back in somehow, or
crying
something?
The baby.
They hear crying from the. So can it sing from the egg? So apparently not. Eliksiv hayana ksiv basayana. Rather, it says yana. It also says basayana. There's both. So what is it? Is it a name, or is it the daughter, or is it the child? We're trying to say it's the child. Why? Because we want to be able to include the egg. We want to say that this is a source for a tamei egg. So the Gemara says, Shani hachad the pasuk sifra l'shtei tevis. It depends. If it writes it as two words, then that's the child of the yana. If it writes it as one word, then that's the name. We're not careful with this, like when we're writing Ben Zion as actually I'm not sure. I have to look that up. Is Ben Zion written as one or two words? Dave Bear is written as one word, right?
Ben Zion is Ben Zion.
I know, but how's it written in a get? I have to look that up.
Both of them is the same thing?
No, so Bas Ayana, if it's written together, then that's the name, Bas Ayana. But if it's written separately, then it's the daughter of Ayana, and now that would include an egg. And since in our pasuk, the pasuk lu sifra, b'tarti teves, because the Torah divides it into two words when it's writing it, Shema min atrei shemis nino, it means that it's two names, two words. Okay. And it says Elameyata. If that's the case, as Kedalaimer. Kedalaimer was one of the kings, the 4 kings or the 5 kings. I forget which one. Kedalaimer. I forget which one he was from, but with the war with Avram, with Sedai. So Shalish Esher Shana Avdu Kedalaimer. No, Shtei Esher Shana Avdu Kedalaimer. Shalish Esher Shana Maradu. They rebelled in the 13th year of Kedalaimer's rule. So the name Kedalaimer, the pasuk Lucifer betray that the Torah divides it into two words. Hachinami detarti shmeininu, is that two separate people?
The Apostle of Safra means a Torah, or?
Yeah, Sifra means the Sefer Torah. The Sefer.
He writes a scribe.
Okay, that could be the scribe, referring to in the Torah. So now we have a little bit of a problem here, because what the Gemara just did to us is it tells us that the word Kedalaimer is written as two words, and therefore we're trying to say that the fact that it's written as two words doesn't mean that it's two separate names. And therefore Basayana could still mean one name, because Kedalaimer is one name, even though it's two words. So Basayana, which is two words, is also one name. It doesn't mean the daughter of. The only problem is that it's not so. In our Torah, it doesn't say that. It says Kedalaimer is one word. So the commentaries say that there's a machlekes between the Messiah and the Gemara. Now, if this is surprising, so Rabbi Kiveger has a famous Gilyon Ashas, a famous comment in Shabbos Daf Nun, where he lists all the differences between the Messiah and the Gemara, because many times the Gemara quotes psukim which are slightly different than the way we have it written, and Rabbi Kiveger lists it over there.
He does this.
This is part of it, yeah.
But it's one or two words. So
Our Gemara says it's two words, and the Messiah has it as one. Okay, Amri, the Gemara answers the question. It says Hasam b'shtei tevis. Over there it's written b'shtei tevis pasuklu b'shtei shitin lai pasuklu. Over there it divides it into two words, but it won't write it on two separate lines. But over here, Basayani, you could even write it on two separate lines. And again, I think we're careful not to write the name, not to divide a name on two separate lines. It should all be on one line. Okay. What do we have? A source for a non-kosher egg is from Basayana. The fact that the Torah needs to say the daughter of the ostrich. Why does it have to say that? An ostrich. Just say ostrich. It's the same halacha, the daughter and the ostrich. It's coming to tell me that the egg is also not kosher. They ask, all the commentaries there, when you learn this in Chumash, the commentaries say, why is this the only one that it says the daughter of the ostrich? What about the Daya and the Aya and the Nates and the Nesher and all of those others? It says, well, the ostrich, the skin is very thick, and there's nothing to eat on it. It's like all muscle. The only time you can eat it is when it's young. That's what they taught us in Cheder. The only time, according to that. So what's the Gemara saying over here? Basayana. That the fact that it's saying the daughter, the child, is because it's coming to teach me the egg. No, it's coming to tell me that the only thing that I could eat, possibly, that would be non-kosher is the child. So what's the teretz? The teretz is it still could have said yana. And the only thing I would have eaten was the child anyway. It doesn't need to tell that to me, right? It doesn't have to tell me. It still could have said yana, right?
Yeah, but
so therefore it's teaching me the egg.
Right. You might think that the egg might be...
No, I was saying that maybe it's not including the egg. It's coming to tell me that only the only part of the ostrich that I could eat was when it's young. I would be able to find some meat on it to eat, and it's not muscle. It's coming to tell me that that it didn't need to say that anyway. It could have just said yana. Okay. Aval Amr Chachamim, but the sages said kol oif, any bird that's doirus, that claws, and it has this sign and that sign and the two legs and all of that. Let's see, Tanya, there's a brisa. This brisa is in the Tosefta, in the back of your Gemara, in this Gemara. Tosefta is published. So it says, Rabbi Gamliel Eimer. Gamliel says, Doiris va'oichel. Let's say if it claws and it eats, which means, well, let's see in a minute. We'll see what it means. Biyadua shutami. Then obviously it's tummy. Yesh la yatzbe yisera. If it has that extra finger in the back, that extra digit. The zefek, and it has a crop. The kurkabani niklaf, and you can peel the gizzard. Biyadua shutar. Then it's tar. That's with the list that we had in our Mishnah as well. Rabbi Lozer Bar Tzadok Eimer. Rabbi Lozer Bar Tzadok says, you take a string, you stretch it out, you pull it tight. Taught. If it separates its legs, two on each side, maybe it means two in the front, two in the back. Two here and two there, is literally. So then it's tummy. But shalish lakan, right? Shalish lakan, v'achas lakan. But if it's 3 in 1, then that's tar. That's Rabbi Elazar Bar Tzadok. And Reb Shimon ben Elazar says, Kol oif hakolet min avir tameh. Any bird that catches its food in the air is tameh. The Gemara asks, Tziparta nami miklat kalta. The tziparta, which was known to be a kosher bird, also catches in the air. All the birds, we feed the birds, you throw it in the air. The seagulls, they come in the air. They come and grab. I guess seagulls aren't kosher. Well, let's see. Amar Abaya.
Except for the Levium.
What does that mean?
A lot of Levium are named Seagull.
Oh, the seagull. Oh, seagull.
Drink your coffee.
It's the jacket.
It's a shortened word for Sigan Lakahuna.
Yeah.
Abaya answers this. Kailet va'eichel kamrinan. We're not talking about just that it catches it in the air. That's just, it has to also swallow it before it lands. It has to eat it while it's in the air. Otherwise, it just holds it in its mouth. Acherim Maimrim, others say, is Acherim? Meir. Others say, they took it out, they took the Meir's name out.
Shechina, we got the Shechina.
Acherim Maimrim, Shachenim Tameim. If it lives with Tameim, then it's Tamei. This is a big, important lesson here. Im Tahirim, Tar. If it lives with the pure birds, then it's Tar.
What does this mean? This
You
is
see
the
where it
bird that
dwells.
catches?
No, he's
What is he
saying
saying?
something else. He's saying a bird that nests amongst kosher birds is kosher, and a bird that nests amongst non-kosher birds is
So why
non-kosher.
don't we check him with the 4 legs?
He has a different sign. He says that this is a sign. There's different opinions here. What are the signs? Rabbi Gamliel had his story with Deiris Veichel, and with Deiris Veichel, and also the Etzbi Yisera, the 4 things. Rabbi Elazar Bar Tzadok said it depends how it separates the legs. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar says if it catches in the air, and Achirim say
I thought
that.
they were all adding on Rav Gamliel.
Oh, you think so?
I don't know. I'm asking.
You don't need one simon, you don't need 18 simons.
I don't know.
Each one has a different simon.
I learned
Tell me.
it's a different sign. I mean, it said these are the signs of a non-kosher bird. I don't remember if it's saying adding or not. In the Shulchan Daf, it says these are signs.
It could be where
So
machmer.
they're
It could be
added?
where machmer, like all the opinions. But it doesn't mean that's what they hold.
Right.
Or maybe if you don't know, you have one of these
Very good. Okay.
Let me see if the commentary here says something. It's Tosefta Perek Gimel, it said.
Yeah, very fine young man over here.
Sheikhin being Tameim, the Daimel Tameim, Tamei. Daimel Tameim, oh, it's bright. We have it already corrected. It's interesting.
This could be the origin of the saying "birds of a feather flock together."
Right, right. Very good.
Nice, thanks to the wall.
And then they would say also, tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. So,
Can't soar with eagles when you call it, eat with pigeons or something.
okay. I don't have the commentary there. It doesn't comment. Come on.
Making us look bad.
Who does this go like? This Acherim. Goes like Rabbi Eliezer. Goes like Rabbi Eliezer. The Tanya was taught in the Braisa. Rabbi Eliezer Eimer, Loyal Chinam Halach Zarzer Eitzel Erev. It's not for nothing that the Zarzer lives with the crow. Elam Epnei Shumina, it's because it's its same type. The Gemara says not necessarily.
And the Zaz is kosher?
According to Rabbi Eliezer, no.
It's not because it lives with the Erev.
So the Gemara says, "Afilu temer rabbanan," not necessarily. It could be that shachin v'nidme kamrinan, that Rabbi that the Acherim hold that shachinim tameim is a sign.
Instead of a decent
It
appearance.
needs to also look like it as well. Is this what the Rabbanan would hold? Or this is what the Acherim would hold? I guess this is what the Rabbanan would hold. The Rabbanan would hold that if it's Shachin v'nidme, they would, if it dwells and it also appear in appearance, it's like that bird that it's dwelling with, then it would be not kosher. And Acherim hold that just dwelling there itself is enough. Rashi says that the appearance, however, the other commentaries say that it's not necessarily appearance. What it also means is those four signs. That's what it means. V'nidme. Nidme means similar. Similar in what? Similar in those four signs that we have with the extra digit and the crop and the.
This sounds like, in all honesty, the Gemara's first warning against assimilation. I mean, if you want to learn this on a different level,
Yeah.
right? Live with different people, dress like those people, et cetera, et cetera. You can be very careful. You might lose your kashrut.
They said that there was some sort of meeting in the conservative reform movement where they said we're losing so many people to intermarriage, and we talk about it all the time. Don't intermarry, don't intermarry, don't intermarry, and we're losing everyone. And the Orthodox, they never talk about don't intermarry, and they're not intermarrying. What's so someone stood up and said, you're making a mistake. You have these laws that are, you can't eat bread that's baked by a non-Jew. You can't drink wine that's baked, that a non-Jew touched. You can't have food that's cooked by a non-Jew. You can't be in a room with a single woman, but whatever. So they have all of these laws. Half the Torah is about not to intermarry. So. Okay. You have to say it specific. Okay. The following Gemara discusses grasshoppers, and I don't really know the difference between the grasshoppers. We're going to say names. We're going to have to it's just terminology, but we'll see. But the logic is still Gemara logic, even though I don't know exactly to envision what. B'chagavim kol sheyeshli, we said the signs of a grasshopper were that it needs to have 4 legs, wings, jumping legs. The wings need to cover majority of the body, right? And I'm missing one thing. What else did it say?
Tennis, huh?
Rabbi says it should be called a
4 legs, 4 wings.
And 2 additional jumping legs.
2 additional jumping legs and wings that the wings cover the body. When it says wings cover the body, is that the 4 wings? Or the same ones? Or no? Does it say anything there? Okay. So the Gemara says when it says the wings need to cover the majority of the body, my Rubai, what does it mean the majority of the body? Amar Rav Yehuda Marav. Rabbi Yehuda says in the name of Rav, very early, Roiv Arkai, majority of the length. Okay. Va'amrila, there are those that say Roiv HaKeifai, majority of the circumference. It's a big difference. Amar Rav Papa. Rav Papa says Hilkach bin and Roiv Arkai bin and Roiv HaKeifai. You want to eat a kosher grasshopper, it needs to cover both the majority of the length and also the majority of the circumference. Okay. Probably cut out a bunch of grasshoppers for people. Tana Rabbanan. The rabbis taught in a brisa. Ein lai achshav asad ligadol. This is talking about if it doesn't have the jumping legs. But it's going to grow them later. Is that considered kosher? Asad ligadol achazman. Gegain hazachal. Like this grasshopper called zachal. That's mutter. That's permissible. Rabbi Lazar bar Rabbi Yosi Omer asher loy kra'ayim, that the pasuk says asher loy. This is interesting. It says that it has these legs, but the word loy could mean to him, and it also could mean does not. Depends if it has a vav or an aleph. Now it's written with an aleph, and we read it with a vav. Same thing, at least in Ashkenazic pronunciation, it's the same. It could be in the Yemenites have it different if it's with a vav or with an aleph. So we read it with a vav, and it's written with an aleph. What does it mean that it doesn't have? Even though it doesn't have now, that it doesn't have. That's what it's coming to tell me. Even though it doesn't have now, but it's still considered kosher because it's going to grow them later. My zechel. What is zechel? Amar Abaya askarin. It's this type of grasshopper called askarin. Iskarin. Okay. Tana Rabbanan. It was taught in a brisa. You have to bear with me with this. We're going to say some names. If you follow it carefully, you'll see that there's a little bit of inconsistency in the names that we're going to include here.
These grasshoppers must be very tasty that everybody has this whole big issue with. It's been like
Cheap protein.
That's what they had. That's what they had it going there.
It's been like the potato chips of the day.
Is there a chumash somewhere?
Crunches.
A chumash would be.
There's
You want to get a chumash from
Yeah,
it?
everyone
Yes,
has
get a chumash.
in English.
grasshopper
Anything.
protein.
Just a chumash. Or up top of it there is a
Very
chumash.
healthy.
Put on
Look.
one more. The second one.
No, it's not. That's a Rambam. Eily, up there
Okay.
is a chumash. Either the Torah, Living Torah. You see that? The purple with the green leaf on it? Yeah, right there. No, that's the Nach. Right next to it, to the right.
Blue one.
The
The
blue
blue
one.
one. The blue one.
Old-fashioned one.
Rabbi, the art scroll download is if you want to do Daf Yomi, they charge $10 a month, and then you can download. If you want to buy all of Shas to put in, it's $500. So you know what I'm saying, $10 a month.
Yeah.
Best. It's the jacket. I'm telling you. You don't wear
If you have
jackets
an
like that.
iPad, you can download whatever we're learning for $10 a month. Comes a lot cheaper than buying these. You have to buy a new bookshop.
Grasshopper protein.
Okay. So let me read to you.
For bodybuilders. GNC.
It says it's supposed to have a lot of
Pickled
protein.
grasshoppers. Garden oil. Wow. It's very popular.
Let me read
today.
to you the pasuk.
That's so
And
funny.
it's all over the world.
Where is the grasshoppers here?
You know what
Achazeh.
common is?
The pasuk says. Here, I'll read it in English.
Very high protein. 20%.
Every flying insect that uses 4 legs for walking shall be avoided by you. The only flying insects with 4 walking legs that you may eat are those which have knees extending above their feet, using these longer legs to hop on the ground. Among these, you may only eat members of the red locust family, the yellow locust family, the spotted gray locust family, and the white locust family. All other flying insects with 4 feet for walking must be avoided by you. In the Hebrew, those are the arba, leminai, vesasalam lemineo, vesachargal lemineo, vesachagav lemineo. Those are names of grasshoppers. Arbe, salam, chargal, and chagav. Okay. Picture. I don't really recognize like the difference. To me, I'm seeing more differences in the background than I'm seeing in the pictures. That's why this is if you want to see the pictures that they have. But in the descriptions, as the Gemara goes through, then we'll be able to spot what we're really looking at. The Gemara says like this: "Es Eily mehem teichlu." From these you can eat es arbe, the arbe. Called that the red locust. I don't know. What is arbe? We're going, etc. Arbe ze goifai. This is the goifai. Salam. Call this the yellow locust. It says ze rishain. Rishain. We're going to see in a minute. We're going to have a Gemara that's going to switch at the drop. Chargal. What is the chargal? Zunipal. This is the nipal. What did we say the chargal was? This is the spotted gray locust. And chagav, we said this is the white locust. Chagav zegidain. Okay. Ma tamad leimar lemineo, 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 lemineo. Why does Daled Pam? Why does it have to say 4 times to its family, to its family, to its family? So it says lahavi tzipayris kramim, to include the tzipayris kramim, v'yochna Yerushalmis, va'artzavis, v'razvanis. Excellent. Okay. Sounds like an easy Gemara. We don't know the translation, it's fine. The Bais Rabbi Shmuel Tana. What we just quoted before the Bais Rabbi Shmuel, the Gemara is going to call it a Tana de Bais Rav. It was taught in the yeshiva. But that's what we have published as the Sifra de Bais Rav, the Teres Kayanim. You see, the Medrash on Vayikra is called Teres Kayanim. This is in Vayikra, this is in Shmini. It's called Teres Kayanim. And it's also under the title Sifra de Bais Rav. The Bais Rav could be translated from the house of Rav, or it could mean the yeshiva. Sifra de Bais Rav. Now we're having from the house of Rabbi Shmuel. Bais Rabbi Shmuel Tana. He says in this yeshiva they said Elu klali klalas ve'elu prati pratis. These are generalizations and these are the details. Now we have rules on how we learn klal prat to klal. Okay. The way it works in general is klal prat is first it starts with the generalization. When you bring a sacrifice, you can bring an animal, sheep or cattle. So we had a generalization in the animal. We said the details, the sheep and cattle. So we had we know which animal we're referring to by the specific sheep and cattle. That's what you have to bring. So the generalization that's followed by a detail, the detail limits that generalization. However, if it goes back and it would say, from any thing that you wanted, it then generalizes again, then it would be including much more. So why do I have details if it wants to say everything? Well, those generalizations need to be similar to the detail. Okay. So it goes like this. Arbe ze goivai. This locust called Arbe is the goivai, leminai, to its family. The Arbe is the detail. The goivai, not the leminai, is the cloud, is the generalization to its family. Family is a generalization. Lahavi, this is coming. Tzipayris kramim. So I know what Arbe is. It's translated as goivai. What's the generalization including? Tzipayris kramim. Now, Tzipayris kramim doesn't have a forehead. Smooth forehead, let's say. Just like the Arbe. Eily ela habav ein legabachas. I would only know a locust that doesn't have this forehead, similar to the Arbe. But what about habav yesh legabachas minayin? If it does have this forehead, how do I know that could be kosher? So Talmud Leimer Salam tells me another word in the pasuk Salam, zen nipal, and it's translated into Aramaic as nipal, leminehu, to its kind, lahavi yasa ushkaf. Okay, so 1 second. Zen nipal. The Salam teaches me that locusts that have this smooth forehead are also kosher. Why does it have to say again to its family? Another generalization. It's coming to include ushkaf. Ve'ein li ala haba ve'ein li gabachas. Now I only know that something that comes that doesn't have a forehead, it comes in front of us, a locust that flies in front of us, doesn't have a forehead, I know that it's kosher because arba is kosher, and it's included l'mineu. What about in v'yesh le gabachas? And I also know if it does have the forehead, that I know from Salam. What about haba ve'ein le zanav or haba v'yesh le zanav minayin? Both of those two, arba and Salam, don't have tails. What about, I don't know if it's called a tail on the locust, but whatever it is, in the Gemara it's called zanav. What about a locust that does have a tail, or what about that? So Talmud Leimer Chargal. Chargal has a tail, and what is Chargal? Zerishin Lemineu. Again, it says to its kind, to its family. Lahavi asa karsefes v'asa shachlanes. Okay, and it's including that. Ve'ein li ela haba ve'ein li gabachas haba v'yesh li gabachas haba ve'ein li zanav haba v'yesh li zanav. I only know has a forehead, it doesn't have a forehead. Has a tail, and it doesn't have a tail. That I know. Why? Because the first two locusts don't have tails and they're kosher. Arba and Salam. And Chargal does have a tail. We know that doesn't matter, that's kosher. But what about Haba ve'ein reish shayarach? All of those were Haba ve'ein reish shayarach. They don't have a long head. Haba v'reish shayarach minayin. But what about if it does have a long head? That I don't have a proof that a locust with a long head is going to be kosher. Minayin, from where do we know that would be kosher? Amrit, so we say like this. We can make a binyanav. Binyanav is a comparison from all three together. It's called a mamatzino. Just as we find here, so too anywhere else. And it goes like this.
You can make a binyanav from three things? I
thought
it says only
usually. No, that's something else. Usually we don't call it a binyanav. Usually when we have more than one source for comparison, we call it a tzad hashava. Tzad hashava means the common denominator, the common factor. That's what we call it. Here the Gemara says, let's make a binyanav mishlashtam. But what it means is a tzad hashava. How does the tzad hashava work? It goes like this. Loyrei arba kri chargal. The qualities of the locust are not like the chargal. Why? The locust doesn't have a tail. The chargal does. The locust doesn't have the forehead, and the chargal does. Leiri chargal kri arba, and the chargal's not like the arba. Leiri shneim kri salam. Neither of them are like the salam. The salam has the forehead. Okay, well, the chargal also does. But the salam doesn't have the tail. The chargal doesn't. The chargal does have the tail. V'leiri salam kari shneim, and both of them are not like the salam. It's not like both of them. Atzad hashava shebem. What's the common factor? Sheish le daled raglayim. They have 4 legs. V'arba kanafayim, and they have